Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Here we go.
So, I went on Valentine's Day weekend to a movie with my significant other. No! It's not what you think. We actually went to see a movie that a lot of people have already seen, and apparently a lot of people really didn't like, and that was the new film from the Wachowskis, Jupiter Ascending. Now, this was a movie that I heard about last spring. It was supposed to come out in the summer months of 2014, but it didn't, and then I found out that it was coming out in February of 2015, and at that point in time, I still was somewhere in the middle on whether or not I wanted to see it. And that was just probably because of the fact that I had seen Cloud Atlas very recently. But the more trailers that I saw, and the grandeur of this science fiction epic film, it was starting to grow on me, and even my girlfriend as well. Regardless of what the critics in the professional world and the critics in the YouTube community were saying, good or bad or indifferent, we both felt that this was a movie that we should at least experience on the big screen. Is it wrong to say that we both actually liked it? I totally see where the flaws were in the movie. The Wachowskis, to me, are probably two of the most original directors in film today. They gave us The Matrix, they gave us V for Vendetta, and they gave us Speed Racer, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite movies. I also am one of those people that really enjoys a true original science fiction story, regardless of the fact that they did take from other science fiction films of the past. I still felt that there was a original Wachowski story buried in there. One of the few things that I was very impressed about was the special effects and the action sequences, as well as the grand worlds that the Wachowskis created. And I wasn't surprised that this came with a Wachowski movie. The action sequences were so great to see on the big screen, and especially since my girlfriend and I both want a pair of Channing Tatum's character's hover boots, and it kicks the hoverboard's ass any day of the week, that was one of the few things that we truly would say was one of the main reasons to see this movie on the big screen. The story itself, I guess you could say it was underdeveloped. It wasn't terrible. We both were able to understand where it was going, and as far as I'm concerned, in a comedic sense, I thought that it was probably the most epic tale of capitalism and sibling rivalry that you could probably experience in a film to date. I really appreciated the fact that it was a story of the origins of the human race. I also was very impressed to see this big business from the House of Abraxas, and I also was not upset with the acting that I saw. Some people say that it was underdone, especially when it comes to Eddie Redmayne with his very low pitch, but I kind of liked that. We'll probably get a ton of hate mail, but it reminded me of Tom Hiddleston as Loki in the first Thor film, because he was just this very quiet, undertoned, whispering kind of guy, and I think that that was what made me fear him a lot more. It was just the story of an event that could tear this family's power apart in Mila Kunis's character, Jupiter Jones. Each one of these siblings has their own set of bounty hunters trying to hunt her down, and also have their own specific intentions because of their own specific and selfish needs. What we get from this movie is Jupiter Jones really learns a lot about herself, and sometimes she will realize that life is not always as horrible as it may seem, especially when you discover what you discover in this film. It had some amazing comedic moments. I really thought that Channing Tatum's performance wasn't terrible, and I appreciated the fact that he was in this because now I'm even more excited to see him in the next X-Men film as Gambit. I think this was just a little bit of a stepping stone to something bigger and better as an action hero. I was very happy with Sean Bean's character, and I really did enjoy the rest of the cast. So, as far as I'm concerned, I really did enjoy this movie and what the Wachowskis were trying to put together. Unfortunately, due to what so many people were saying about it, it's not going to spawn any sequels, and quite frankly, it didn't necessarily have to. If it did, it probably would have added more character development, disappointment to those that survived the first film, but one of the few things that I'm happy about was the fact that I waited a little while to hear what critics around me had to say, because then I was expecting all the bad, and it was because of the fact that I experienced what everybody was saying that was quote-unquote bad, I was able to find the good, as did my girlfriend, and we both agreed that if we would have waited to see this movie on Netflix and skipped it entirely in the big screen, we probably would have hated it along with everybody else. But seeing a movie like Jupiter Ascending on the big screen was amazing. It made me pine for the fact that I didn't see a movie like The Fifth Element on the big screen, because I was reminded so much of that movie in Jupiter Ascending, and I had fun with it, and I will take it for what it is. A fun, but not great, science fiction film, and I'm giving Jupiter Ascending 3 out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm very excited to get some debates going here, so put your comments in the box below, and I'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.